the people respected Usama radiyallahu anhu because he's hibbu Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He is loved by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam also selected him as the commander-in-chief for the army. But now Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is not here with us. So therefore, we request, he's only 18 years old. He's a young fellow. Let's assign someone else on his place. Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu was so upset to hear this. He said, if Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam assigns someone, can I take that position from the person? If this person wants, he can take my position, but I can never take his position because he's assigned by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu says, after the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, we were just like scattered sheep, scattered kettles, no one to take care of them, standing in a rainy night in the middle of the desert that none of them knows which direction to go, about to make some major mistakes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us at that time with Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu. If it wasn't his firm decisions to hold strongly to the ways of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, we were lost. If it wasn't because of Abu Bakr, we were lost. We would have made big mistakes and went into totally different directions. It was Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu who was able to hold us together at the time. Finally, Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu sent that army out. And of course, those people's iman was so strong. Their belief was so strong that these weapons or anything else in the world could never stand before their iman and their aqidah. We got to remember one thing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have blessed the human beings with many abilities. Through our abilities, we are able to do a lot of things in the world. We invented a lot of different type of things in the world. But we got to remember one thing, that the ability that's within the human being, that human being can never put it in anything else. Within our soul, within our souls, the ability that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put it in the human being is such that nothing can have that type of ability in the world. And once the human being is willing to use that ability, then he can achieve whatever he like in this universe, in this world. And this human being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed him with the power, with the strength, that nothing can stop him from achieving his goals, or at least working towards his goals, as long as the human being himself have determined to do so. And then, once we are using that ability from within us, then there is nothing in the world, because all of these powers, weapons, lights, electricity, whatever is there, is man-made. And these things can never have the ability of a human being. They are going to make some robots, but I'm sure that there won't be women who will be willing to marry a robot. Or a man who will be looking for something like this. Of course, we don't have, the world is not empty of people who have nonsense, and we might call them a bunch of trash in the form of human beings, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala labels them in Quran, kal an'ami bal hum adall, like animals, in fact worse. There are people of that kind also in the world. And unfortunately, today you can think of the worst thing and you find that human beings are discussing about doing something like that. But the ability that's within the human being can never be in anything else in the world. And Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in used that ability for their aqidah. And once the aqidah came part of their lives, it was part of their lives, and it was coming from within them. It's this very simple example to understand the point. Is the strategy in the army. If you read anything about the army and about, if you have been for the training of the army, there is a strategy in the army that if you have your enemy and you see the enemy is very weak and small in number, yet never surround the enemy from all around. Leave some gap for that enemy to be able to run away. Never surround your enemy from all around. Because that's the time when he feels that he's totally surrounded, there is no way for him to do anything to escape from the situation except to use the abilities within him. And once he will start using that, he might die but end up killing 10 of them also. One person will kill 10 and then he will die. He will use the ability within him. That's the time when he feels I have to get it out. Use every power I have in my life. He would use it. He may not use his mind at that time, but use the ability that he has within him, and he will end up taking 10 lives before you are able to take care of him. Same thing. A hungry person. A person who's hungry. We know that a person who's starving to death will do anything to save his life and to get something that can go in his mouth and thus can make him survive. He will use his abilities at that time. This is the same man who throughout his life was saying that I'm never able to work. I can never work. When he sees himself in that situation, he will end up getting something for his family and for himself. This is the time when we use our abilities. That when the person from within us, we feel that now at this time I need something very strongly. And we feel that if we won't get it, a big danger is there for our lives. Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in, they took their iman as one of these important things of their lives. In fact, the life wasn't important, iman was more important. So now whatever we do for our stomach, when we get hungry and we like to get some food and grab something from somewhere, Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in, at the time of Salah, they used to feel that they are hungry for Salah. They are thirsty for Salah. I have to do my Salah. There is no power in the world that will stop me from doing my Salah. And at every occasion you find that their Iman to them was just like other natural calls to us. A person has to go to the bathroom. And sometimes we might have seen the situation and faced the situation when you really, it's emergency, you must go and use the bathroom. Irrespective who tries to stop you from using the bathroom at that time, you will find the place to use it. We got to stop the car. I had an appointment. I did not even stop my father. My phone is ringing. I would not even pick up the phone. But as soon as that natural call comes, I have to respond to that call. And I have to stop the car irrespective of what type of emergency I'm in. I have to stop the car on the side and use the bathroom and fulfill the natural call, because the natural calls are such that we can never confront them. Same thing if we make Iman as part of our nature, and this is exactly what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, that this deen is a natural deen. It's part of our nature if we keep it in our nature. This is how Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in used to do it. It was part of their nature. And they used to feel it. Just like lunchtime we feel I'm hungry. Dinner time I have to get something. Same thing, they used to feel that this is the time for my Iman and to prove my deen, to prove my Iman and to strengthen my Iman, and in fact to spread my deen. It was a feeling from within them, made them go, 60 of them confronting